Well, good Monday morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. I'm actually filming this on Saturday. I just watched a video from a friend of mine, Road Scholar. Check out his YouTube channel if you hadn't checked it out, where he was considering giving up his authority. He recently got his own authority a few months ago because TQL wasn't paying him some money that they owed him, and there's a whole story there. I won't go into it on this video. You guys go check out his videos if you're curious about that. He posted it on Saturday, and like I said, I'm filming this on Saturday, but you guys are seeing it probably Monday morning. So in this video, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about brokers in general, and I'm going to tell you why I do what I do. So, but before I do that, give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your social media platforms. Click on the title below this video and read the description of the video. There's a lot of great information there about how you can contact me and how you can help the channel. Speaking about helping the channel, if you'd like to become a channel member and receive exclusive content for just a few dollars a month, and I mean a very few dollars a month, hit join below this video and get all those details. But now we're going to do what we always do in these recorded videos. I'm going to fire up the music, and then we're going to jump into today's topic. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind. These wheels turning round for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do.
Alrighty, we're back. So there's been a lot going on in the news lately. You guys remember a few weeks ago, Convoy went out of business. Another company, Elite Transit, which is another brokerage firm, just laid off a bunch of their employees, and they're not paying people, even their own employees. They owe about $200,000 right now, and so it's a big mess. Brokers are struggling. And my opinion of what happened was that, they thought they could book all this cheap freight and kind of corner the market, and they did. But what happened was a lot of drivers wouldn't haul it, and they got stuck with it. And so now they're paying for it financially, and a lot of companies aren't making it. The same economy that is hurting truck drivers and trucking companies right now is also hurting the brokers. And so some of them aren't going to make it. We seem to have a lot of them that are going under right now, and several more of them that are circling the drain, that it's too soon to know if they might make it or not make it. Now, in this video, I'm not going to specifically speak on Road Scholar's situation. I will tell you that I reached out to him and told him to consider coming over here to SRO Logistics. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I think that's a good idea. Now, in other videos, some of you have said, "Oh, Todd, why would you do an 80-20 split? Why don't you just go out and get your own authority?" And for me, Road Scholar's video highlighted why that is. And while I don't fault Road Scholar for what he did or anything like that, I think he took his shot. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. But I think he's a smart guy with a lot of knowledge. And this is not an attack video on him. This is merely me explaining why I do what I do. All right, so Road Scholar in his video said that I guess there was a claim on one of his loads. A trailer got damaged, and there's some conflict between his insurance and TQL, and TQL won't pay him for the load till that conflict is resolved. Again, I don't want to get into the specifics of that. You can check out his video. But Let me tell you what we do here at SRO Logistics, where I'm currently leased to, and why I think, quite frankly, that my situation is superior to getting my own authority right now. So when I get on the load boards and I look for a load and I find one I like, we've got a website we go to and we type in the DOT number or MC number or whatever, and a little bit of information, very little. It's not difficult, and it tells us if that's an approved carrier or not. And so, um, then if that's an approved, not carrier, broker, if that's an approved broker, then the factoring company that SRO Logistics uses guarantees payment for that freight. So we're not doing like a lot of small carriers are doing, one truck operations with their own authority that aren't factoring. We're guaranteed to get paid on that load. So, and usually it's like the next day. So we're not waiting. I believe Road Scholar mentioned he's waiting 2.5 months at this point for his money, and that's what's putting him in a bind. We're getting paid quickly. We know we're getting our money. Then that factoring company, for the small fee they're charging SRO Logistics, guarantees payment, and they take the risk if the broker doesn't pay. So, provided that it's one that was approved, you have to go to that website, check that company out. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Todd, I can have my own authority and I can use a factoring company. Yes, you can, but are you? And can your business afford that, 3, 5%, whatever the factoring company charges? I don't have to worry about none of that. That's covered in my 80-20 split on his side. And so it's a peace of mind. It's a quick payment. So let's say that I found myself, let's say that I'd have went that way and I got my own authority and I was out here running and I got myself in a financial bind and I had to give up my authority and come to SRO. I'm going to get paid quickly. I'm going to do a 2 or 3 day load, and then provided I scan my paperwork by 11 a.m., I'm going to get paid the next day probably. Now he says 2 days, but it's normally the next day unless something weird happens. He just kind of says 2 days to cover himself. Now, keep in mind that's 2 business days. So if I scan a trip on a Friday, the first business day is Monday. Typically, it's going to pay on a Tuesday. So, but you kind of know that going into it. Whereas if I booked it on my own through my own authority, I'm looking at, a lot of them say 17 days, some of them say 30 days, some of them are 60 or 90 days, like what Road Scholar's going through right now. And, granted, I could go through factoring companies. There's pros and cons to that when you do it on your own. But this is just one more reason why I think working with SRO Logistics or another company like SRO Logistics is a great idea. And it's why I've chose to do that in my business model. Now, if this is not a recruiting video, this is not a push for y'all to all go to SRO Logistics. This is me saying, this is what works for me. If you'd like more information about it, because what you're doing is not working for you, or you want to do something different, or you want to work with a great company, maybe where you're at's changed the last few months, you want to try something different, then email Scott and tell him you seen my video. I'd appreciate it. Who knows, we may meet up out here somewhere sometime. Anyway, his email is safety@srologistics.com. That's safety@srologistics.com. Now, one more thing I do want to say before I wrap this video up is his hiring process. He's very old school. Do not expect to call him today and be at work by Friday. It's going to take some time, probably a few weeks. He wants to get to know you. He wants you to get to know him. He does not want you working there for 2 or 3 weeks and quitting. There's too much government regulations to go through for the hiring process. There's too much expense involved. He wants to be sure that you're a good fit for his company and that you're a good and that he's a good fit for you. So there's going to be several conversations that take place. But all in all, I think you're going to enjoy talking to him, and I would encourage you to give him a call. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. You guys join me on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, usually at 5 p.m. Central. Sometimes it's at 6 p.m. Central. But if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get a notification when those videos come out. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.